Hi fellow makeup fiends. So I'm not on camera today. I'm actually having quite a breakout of my skin at the moment, which just goes to show you that makeup is not always the cause of breakouts, because I haven't been wearing any. I have been really wanting to get this done. As you can see, this is what I've got here. I've got some paper out of a glossy box, and it'll become apparent what this is for soon. And then I've got a couple of pairs of scissors, and then I've got my palette. Now this palette was £4 and that was including postage from China. It's not the best quality palette, but it's good enough for what I want it for. I put this on the back, which is UD Urban Decay Beauty with an edge. Then I decorated the front with the UD logo and some stars, and I called it the Star Palette because I love stars. And then in here it has got 28 holes for shadows, and these are the same width as an Urban Decay shadow. So I have popped a few of these out of their containers. These are my Urban Decay shadows in here that are going to go in this palette. So I've popped them out and I'm going to show you how you do that in this video. But this is what you're left with, and then you have to use your straighteners, and then that heats the back of this up. And then I'm going to use a towel and I'm going to show you how you pop them out of there. And then I have some glue dots, and these are what I'm going to put into each of these little circles to put the shadows in so that they stay secure. I'm not sure what I'm doing on the inside yet, whether I'm going to put a mirror or whether I'm going to put the names like I have in my MAC palette. And then I also have a little list of the shadows and where I want to put them, because I don't have enough to fill it, but there are some other colours that I'm after that I know I can put in the other slots, so I don't want it to just be quite random and looking a bit messy. I have a bit of a plan in mind. So let's get on with it. The paper is just going to protect the actual straighteners themselves. It's going to stop the metal from sticking as it starts to melt off the shadows. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a square out. And this is very thin paper, which is really great for what we want it for. So what you want to do is just place it on your straightener. We're going to place the pan on there. So how I got these out, and I'll try and film myself doing it with another one, is what you do is, I've got a few that have popped and a few that haven't. You want to get a sharp tool in this gap here, and you've got to be very careful because you don't want to damage the shadow when you're doing it, but that's my nail in there. So you can't really get tweezers or a very fine bladed pair of scissors in there to pop it out. This is one that I've already popped. Here's one I did earlier, and this is ABC Gum. They're all Urban Decay shadows because I wanted to make my own Urban Decay palette, because as you know I love my Urban Decay shadows. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pop this onto the straightener, and it needs to stay there for a good few minutes so that it can heat up. And what happens is, as the plastic heats, it sort of melts the glue that's keeping the shadow inside the pot, and then what you could do is you bring it over here and we'll go through that as that happens. But I have actually popped quite a few of these out, and I've just kept them just like inside their containers so I know what they're called. So it's basically just putting the scissors into the gap and just working it and trying to pop it out. And it can take some time, but there we go. So that is safely popped out, and then I can just set that aside. They actually do pop out quite easily. I'll put this so you can get a slightly better view maybe. It's so difficult to film like this. It's just a case of patience really, just work, and that's that scissors in there, and then yeah, they pop out quite easily. So I won't demonstrate anymore, I'm going to pop the rest of these out now. I prefer shorter scissors to do the popping off, just because you get a bit more control. With a longer blade you're holding it longer and it's more likely to twang out and you're more likely to hurt yourself, because these are scissors, they are very sharp, these are nail scissors, very sharp end, so I am very wary of actually hurting myself. But because I can hold these and it's such a short blade and I can hold them really close, I have more control of them, and then if they were to accidentally kind of slip, I've got a bit more control. There's no damage to the shadow at all, and yeah, it's very quick and easy. So I'm going to pop the rest of the shadows out in super speed, and then we'll melt everything down, and then I'll show you putting them in the palette. Right, I have actually discovered that the easiest place to actually get leverage and pop these out, but beware because they can fly across the room, is to actually get right here. There's like, I'll show you on this one. So you've got like a little bit of a ledge here. So this is where you want to get your point of the blade in. Try and slip it in the middle, come across, and then pop on a little bit of a, it's like a shoulder. Right, so now that I've got my blade in that corner there, right in the shoulder, it just pops out a lot easier. And as you can see, there is no damage to that shadow. It is very hot, so the best thing to do is just hold the sides of your paper. We're going to place that face down on the towel, and then we're just going to use some scissors. You just press down, and here is not hot really. It's warm, but it's not boiling hot. So you can put your finger under there, pull with your finger, press with the scissors. And we're just going to press in the middle and see what happens. Now, as you can see, pressing in the middle, that's lifted that shadow, and then you just want to place that face down and allow it to cool, and you're left with the empty pan. Now we're going to put the next one under. I'm actually going to take this one and put it face down in the container that it came from and shut that just to protect it, and it'll cool off in there, and then I don't forget which colour it is. What you do want to remember as you pop these shadows out is that the metal part of this is going to be very hot because you've heated the plastic under it, and the metal obviously is a heat conductor, so this is very hot. So when you pop that out and leave it on your towel just for a minute to cool off a little bit, then it'll just be warm to the touch. You don't want it to be really hot because it can burn your fingers. So leave it face down on the towel to cool for a little bit, then pop it in here. That finishes the cooling off. You know what colour it is, and it's basically just handy just to pop on your desk. I've got a stack here that I've just finished off, so they're cool and they're ready to go in, but I'm going to get all of them done together so I can put them all in together and show you the process in one go. You always want to put them face down because there is glue on the back, and as you can see it is tacky. If you put it the other way it'll glue to the bottom, and you don't really want that to happen. Right, what I will say when you are actually cutting your papers as well, this is the best paper. It's very thin, it's really great, just allows the heat to conduct a lot better. What I will say is cut these as you can see so they are bigger than the pan, because that way, because these get very hot, you can hold the corners to lift them and manipulate them, because the plastic is hot at this stage. So you can get these from any stationery supplier. I suppose you can probably order them online, possibly on eBay as well. I didn't look, I just went into the stationery box, and what you're looking for is removable clear sticky dots, because you don't really want the permanent ones unless you think you're going to throw the palette away at the end of it all. So the way you use these is you have to tear your individual glue dot off the packaging because they come in these squares. So that's what it looks like. And then you want to peel off the cellophane, and we're going to go over here to this, and I'm going to look at ABC gum. Right, ABC gum is going here, so you want to try and get it as central as you possibly can, and what you're doing is you're positioning that circular dot you can see there, and you press it into your palette. Give it a good press down, and then you basically just peel off this, and as you can see you've got a glue dot in here now. And then I'm going to take that shadow, which is this one, it's ABC gum. I was given this from a friend and it's a lovely peach colour, and then you just want to take that and drop that in, and then just give it a little bit of a press, and as you can see, won't come out, that's it in. And the same sort of process with this, it is glued down. To get it out, you would just take probably some tweezers are the best, pop it down the side and pop that out when that shadow is completely finished. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually just going to heat up this container. Always be careful just to hold the lid of the container. So as you can see, the plastic on these is very thin, but now if I press with my scissors, that sticker has actually come off absolutely perfect. But you want to get an adult to help you with this if you're younger, and you want to also just be incredibly careful. You don't want to cause a fire or cause any kind of damage to yourself. And then all I've done is take that sticker and I've stuck it straight into the palette exactly where the shadow is. So now what you can see is the shadow's there, and that is exactly the same place. But you'll be able to see that better once I do all of them. Can't use that for anything else now, that's for sure. So what you want to do is you don't want to take it directly down at the flame. Obviously if you take it too low, what you're going to get is you're going to cut off the oxygen and the flame's going to go out. And then you just want to put these face down on the desk, just so that if they are still hot, it doesn't cause any damage to your surface. And you also want to make sure the area is nicely ventilated and there's no chance of any kind of material flapping down into that flame and causing a fire. The sticker will just go straight into your palette. So that's the dot going in. Peel off that. I'm putting all my rubbish in one place, and then I'm just going to drop Cult into there. Press it down with my thumb. The towel's also great to wipe off the excess makeup, because you will end up with some makeup on yourself. But there you go. And that is firmly stuck in. So these are all the empty containers sufficiently cooling down. As you can see, you don't really need much of a hole in them, because as soon as the heat makes a little hole, it kind of sends a ripple through the plastic, and then that actually lifts the sticker for you. And you always hold this end so it stays nice and cool. Then with this end of the scissors, you gently poke the sticker through here, very gently, so you don't put a hole in it, and it lifts on this side. You'll find it'll lift at one corner, then you can peel the whole sticker off. So everything's nice and cool, so I can go ahead and put all of this stuff in the bin now. These are all of the backs of them with the papers attached, and then these are all the containers. It's a bit of a shame that they've all got holes in and they can't be reused, because they're quite nice little pots, but that's just the way it goes. The last shadow is actually on there now, and then I will show you the completed palette. So this is my little list of the shadows. This has got on all of the ones that I do have. But it's also got on the ones that I want. So I've got a couple of holes ready to be filled here with Herb, Cherry and Yayo, which are white, pink, and that's a very pale frosty sort of green. I also want to get Secret Service and Perversion. They're probably going to go along the bottom, because these are my neutral colours. And I've got another 6 slots which I haven't actually allocated shadows for. And then I've got Height, which I don't own, but I do have in another palette that I want to put in here, because I think it complements the rest of the shadows in this row. So I still have 1, 2, 3... 9. I still have 10 shadows to purchase for this, but obviously looking for them on eBay. You can pick them up. I got a lot of these for £3.50, and that was including postage, so that was quite good. Somewhere around £4. I didn't pay more than £4 per shadow, but yeah, I couldn't pick them all up at once, because, you know, obviously couldn't afford to pick 28 shadows up at once. I did get lucky with a couple of auctions where I got a number together. Like I said, I paid about £4 or £5 for 6 shadows, which is excellent value, and I got another 3 in an auction that ended up being, I think, £4. So I got some good value on the shadows, and then I think I had around 5 or 6 myself, so I already had some. So I actually did pretty well with the palette, and I'm going to show you that now. Right, so this is actually how the palette has turned out. I am incredibly pleased with how it looks. So on the inside of the lid are all the stickers off the back. Now a few of these are damaged. These were damaged when I actually got the shadows themselves, so that can't be helped. They were all brand new though and hadn't been used, but some of them obviously had just got a little bit of damage on the stickers. So that's a little bit of a shame, but I'm not too bothered. As you can see, the ones that weren't damaged when I received them have actually come off really well and have gone straight on and are looking really nice. And it matches to the layout in the palette, which is fantastic. What I love about these colours are, although I do have a couple of these in other palettes in smaller size, these are the full size ones, and these are just colours I love. And I've also picked up a load of colours that I don't actually own, and which are just really, really pretty colours that I can't wait to start using. So what you've got here is you've got your greens across the top, which are Green Goddess, Ver and Mildew. And then my favourite row is the middle row. I just need one more to finish this row off. The top row itself, I don't know what I'll finish off, whether that'll be greens or I might put some golds or yellows or silvers in here. But I'll probably try and keep this all within the same sort of thing. That's why I wanted to lay it out on a piece of paper first. I wanted to know exactly where we're going to put the shades, so when I purchase the other ones I want, I can keep it looking nice this way. I didn't want to put random colours all over the place. I wanted to have some kind of a flow. Coming down onto the next one, this is a one I've had for quite a while. I love this colour. This one is Piccadilly, Aquarius, Narcotic, Electric, Flipside, one of my favourite colours, and Minx. Minx is not shown as true as it is there, but Minx is a really lovely frosty aqua colour. And then I want to get Height for here, which is one of my favourite all-time colours. I want Cherry for here, which is a pale pink. Then you've got Hot Pants, Purple Haze, Flash, Cult, Psychedelic Sister and Goddess, which is a lovely deep shimmery blue. Down here I want to put Yayo, which is the white. Then I've got Revolver, which is a grey, and ABC Gum, which is a peach. And I'm probably going to end up putting Perversion on the bottom row, possibly Oil Slick as well, and get like a matte black and a shimmery black. But that is what the palette looks like. I'm really, really pleased that it's turned out as well as I'd hoped, and I can't wait to start using it, and I hopefully will be using these colours in some upcoming tutorials. So thank you very much for watching the Urban Decay project. I've really enjoyed putting this together, and hopefully if you ever thought about doing this, you'll be able to see just how easy it can be, and actually quite cheap really, because I did have a number of these shadows already. But if you just pick these up every now and then and get one of these palettes, which is incredibly cheap, then I think it's really good. And I've got a lot of colours together there now, because sometimes when you have single shadows sitting in the drawer, you just forget to use them. That's what was happening with these. They were in a drawer and I love Urban Decay, wear Urban Decay shadows every day, but I was just forgetting to use them because they were stuck in a drawer. And now these are in a palette. I can reach for this palette. I actually reach for palettes a lot more than I do single eyeshadows. I don't know why. I think it's just because there's similar colours in there that you can use together, and it's just a lot easier to formulate a look when you've got a palette in front of you. So that's it. So I'll put some little photos at the end. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to love you all and leave you, and see you all soon. Bye.